Hi there, I'm Courtney McSwain from CM Storytelling, and I'm so excited and grateful that you are here with me for the second episode of Story Talk. This is a video series where we unpack entrepreneurship and storytelling with creative and purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And today my conversation is with Kathryn Hashemi, the owner of Just Be, a specialty boutique in Greensboro, North Carolina that specializes in US-made, fair trade, and handcrafted goods. Everything from jewelry to handbags to decor. You know you're going to find something in Just Be that is unique and that tells a story. And in the era of COVID-19, Just Be and so many other brick and mortar stores have had to figure out how to continue to tell their story and the story of all of the wonderful things that they're selling using tools other than that face-to-face interaction that we love when we go into stores like Just Be. But they're continuing to stay connected with their customers using their online store and their Instagram profile. And Kathryn really shares some of the behind the scenes of how she's been able to push herself to using those tools more and more to stay connected with her customers. So I absolutely loved our conversation. It was so inspired by chatting with Kathryn, and I really think you're gonna love it too. So check out this week's episode of Story Talk with Kathryn Hashemi of Just Be. All right. Well, Kathryn, thank you so much for spending some of your morning with me. I really appreciate you chatting with me about Just Be and how you all are surviving in the midst of COVID-19 and staying at home and all that good stuff. So how are you doing just with everything that's going on?
Good, surviving, learning, building a fence right now in our backyard, all the things, just taking it day by day and figuring out what the next step is for Just Be and new avenues to venture down right now.
Yeah, this is like the time when you realize everything you got to do around the house and all that good stuff. So I think a lot of home improvement stuff is taking place right now.
Yes, Home Depot is packed.
Right. So let's start off. I'm curious to know how you became an entrepreneur. So I'd love to hear that story.
So I majored in fashion merchandising, and I always wanted to have my own business, start a store. I always thought organically. But when we moved to North Carolina, I started at Just Be, and I fell in love with it. And I worked there for about 4 years. And the owner approached me, and it didn't take me much time to decide that this is what I wanted to do. This is the avenue I wanted to go down. I felt like I could kind of add my own spin to things, but still keep the integrity of Just Be and what Just Be means. So that's sort of how Just Be landed in my lap, and it's been the best ride.
Right. And you've owned it for a little over a year now?
Yeah. So we bought the store. Me and my husband bought the store in January of 2019. So we had a great 2019, which has been a blessing for this year and what this year has brought. So I can't even imagine what it would have been like if this would have happened in the beginning of buying the store. So,
right. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank goodness for that. That you had a bit of a cushion, not only, I'm sure, from a revenue perspective, but even just a learning curve perspective.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what's the impact that you hope Just Be has, on your customers? What's kind of the bigger impact you're hoping to make with the store?
When customers walk in, we love to be able to educate them on fair trade and what an item what these companies have to go through to be a fair trade company. There's different organizations that come in and audit them and make sure fair trade practices are being done. And then just being able to inspire them every day with locally made products, things that are handcrafted. People walk in every day and just say, I'm not really here to buy anything. I just want to be inspired. I just need encouragement. They come in and read our cards, and it makes them smile. And I've even seen some people cry, but it's like what they needed that day.
Yeah. And I've been in the store several times. I think it's a great place to go get gifts.
and unique gifts, because, you know, they're things that you're not going to see in your everyday store. So when you give someone that gift, it's like you're giving them something that there was thought behind it.
Yes. People can spend hours sometimes in the store just browsing and reading about products, because there's so much to be told with each product.
Yeah, and I love your tagline too. I think it is gifts with stories to tell. You know, as someone who works in storytelling, I love that. I love the idea that we're giving things that actually have a story that go along with it.
Yeah, you're not just giving something that you picked up at the mall and it's like, oh, I thought this was pretty, but it's more like, hey, this is a bag that helps in sex trafficking, helps the women out of it gain freedom. And actually her name is sewn into the bag. So that means a lot to people when they get a gift, have a story behind it.
Yeah. So, and talking about that storytelling, I know that just looking at your Instagram, you all are, kudos to you on your Instagram page. I love it. You're doing a great job kind of bring that storytelling element over to the Instagram page. So how have you all seen that shift, especially now that people are relying on Instagram so much? How are you all seeing that shift, you know, from being able to tell that story using a platform like Instagram?
I want to give a shout out to our store director, Carla Taylor. That is really a key piece of our Instagram. She's been able to take that on and just give it new life in some ways. But she does a great job, since she's in the store all the time, of knowing what our customers want to see and knowing what they want to hear. And our customers, I feel like it is like a wavelength of our store. Like it's just a continuation of our store, and it really feels seamless with our pictures and how we take them, and then just how we encourage our customers through Instagram. And we're seeing more and more orders from Instagram these days, more messages through that than anything, really. Definitely more than Facebook, I would say.
So how has COVID-19 and the environment that we're in right now impacted your business, and sort of how you are communicating with your customers and keeping that relationship going?
Well, obviously we're not being able to rely on foot traffic. So we're using Instagram even more. We're working on our website because we have to now, where we didn't feel like we needed to before. It's like,
Right.
All right, we got to get on this. Marketing through emails, just giving our customers updates through emails, and really pushing ourselves out of our normal comfort zones and kind of learning while we work.
Yeah. And I'm sure, you know, just having been in the store and kind of knowing the products that are there, I'm sure the people that come in, you know, want to make sure that Just Be's okay and are, you know, wanting to continue to support you all. So that's got to, you know, help make this situation a little bit better.
Yes, we have the best customers, and I really don't just say that. Like I really feel that when we send out an email or when we write something on Instagram, we get countless emails back, especially these days. And I think there's a certain type of customer that appreciates handmade items, and it's the customer that we really love, and it's our daily customer. Yeah.
Right. So is there an example of ways that you are innovating right now in terms of how you're approaching your business, or how you are, you know, communicating and continuing to build that relationships that really, you know, was sparked by this situation that we're all in?
I would say it's such a small thing, but for me, it was just hard to actually have my voice heard on our social media platforms. It's something I always wanted to do, and I thought about it all the time, but I was like, I don't need to. I'm not going to push myself out of that comfort zone. But just doing a story on our Instagram and walking around the store and speaking to customers, this whole situation made me do that. And I was like, why was I scared of of that before.
Right.
And that's something so simple that I'll definitely carry on after this for sure.
Yeah. That's so funny that you mentioned that, because actually this kind of interview series was something that I had in my mind to do for, a while, but I was kind of dragging my feet on it. And then all of a sudden as I was looking through Instagram and I was seeing all of the businesses that were kind of adapting and things they were doing, I was like, oh, I should probably I should get going on my interview series and try to talk to people and see what they're doing and help share their story. So it's interesting how kind of being put in a box forces you to do things that maybe you've been a little bit hesitant to do.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great for entrepreneurs. I mean, obviously we don't feel like it's great right now, but as far as pushing ourselves and learning, I think it will impact us from years to come, Just the simple things that we didn't want to make ourselves do because, we had people coming in the door, we were fine. And now we have to think, how can I communicate with our customers now that they're not just walking in? Definitely, it's definitely taught me a lot, especially as far as our website, because for a year I was like, I'm just going to focus on the store. I'm just going to focus on making everybody's experience great when they walk in the store. And then it's like, I need to make everybody's experience great while they're sitting at home. So how can I do that?
Exactly. And it's a lesson in storytelling and communicating. Like, how do you keep that same kind of personal feel? So what are some of the things that people are kind of responding to and giving you feedback on and being able to say, I still feel like I'm connected to you all?
Definitely Instagram is our number one. We also really love email marketing because it's people who've signed up in the store, who really want to hear from us. And we can kind of tailor make something for them because I would say they're like our core customers.
So, so the last question I'll ask you is, what are some of the lessons that you think that you've learned so far? I mean, I think we've been in sort of stay at home, at least in Greensboro, maybe a week or so. And it feels like a month already, but and even in that time, what are some of the lessons that you've learned that you think will kind of last beyond this situation?
I mean, obviously we just have to be prepared for anything. And I would say one of the biggest lessons is to think outside of my box and to push myself out of my comfort zone, whether it's just doing a story on Instagram with my voice being heard and me walking around the store. It's so simple. Or me figuring out something on the website where before I was like, people are walking in the door. It's fine. I don't need to figure it out. It can be something on the back burner, but you need to really think of people that are maybe like out of state that can't come in. So this has kind of brought that to the forefront, like where people can't come in. So you're thinking more broad about your customers, not just local, but you're thinking about your customers in Atlanta and your customers in Georgia and California.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a great thing to take away. And even though we don't want to be in this situation, if we're gonna be in this situation, at least use the time to innovate, to be creative, and to think of things that are going to serve you, beyond this time that we're in. So,
I mean, you can easily say, all right, we're shut down. We're not going to do anything. We'll just go off the map. I mean, that's the easiest thing to do. But if you're a real entrepreneur, you have to keep going and not just lay down and give up for the time. You have to just keep going and innovate.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. Great point to end on. Thank you so much for spending some of your morning with me and for chatting with me. And I can't wait to be able to go and visit Just Be in person and meet you in person.
Yes, thank you, Courtney. I really appreciate you reaching out to me.